Heart at the Hazbin Hotel, Chapter 14. Let's see how things are going now, yeah? So, there's a song featured in this chapter. That's entertainment from the movie The Bandwagon. Chapter 14. Back on my feet. Heart's point of view. The world seemed to slow. It felt different, meaningless, dark. I had lost myself in my thoughts. I had dark thoughts. I had nightmares. I locked myself away in my room for days. As soon as Lizzie and I got back to the house, I just stayed in my room. I didn't come out. I didn't talk to anyone. My phone was on, but I ignored everyone. I laid in bed, my Alistair doll just in my arms close to my chest at all time. I came out to eat, but I didn't say much. I knew my sister was worried about me, but she didn't know what to do for me to help. She would invite me out with her, but I decided to stay home. I knew I was at least safe at home. Eventually, all the stuff I had taken over to the hotel was now back in my room. Lizzie went over every day and just took a few things at a time. I'm grateful she helped me out with all this, though. I was like this for about a month. One day, Lizzie had enough of it. She told me I had to get out of the house, get a job, distract my mind somehow. I was against it at first, but after a week I decided to give it a try. I looked around. Nothing really caught my eye. Nothing interested me. I didn't want to be some dumb waitress at a bar or a clerk at some store. I wanted something else. Something I would enjoy. I quit looking after about 2 weeks. Charlie came to visit me. I was happy to see her. I asked her if she had seen any sign of Alistair, but she shook her head with a frown. She hadn't seen nothing. I figured as much, but I still had my hopes up. It was still a nice day to have Charlie over and catch up on stuff. Tell her how I was looking for a job to occupy my time. She thought it was a good idea as well for me to keep looking. I'll find something. I told her how I missed helping around the hotel. I missed it all in general. I missed Angel Dust and his strange sexual puns and his attitude. Nifty was always the best to talk to, even though she talked fast and you couldn't understand her half the time. I missed getting my butt kicked in blackjack by Husk. I missed it all. Charlie couldn't stay for dinner, unfortunately, as she had to get back to the hotel. I told her to come visit again soon. Before I knew it, it was the day. I remember it well. The day that would have been my 1-year anniversary with Alistair. It was hard for me. My mind went back to memories. The night he and I danced together. He showed me that he truly cared for me. I was the only one that made him feel the way he did. How he experienced emotions he never had before. He had a romantic attraction to me, and that made me feel special enough. To think a demon overlord would fall in love with someone like me. I didn't deserve it. I felt I wasn't good enough for him all the time. I still was a horrible person to him in the end. That's how I felt. I had emotions and urges he didn't know anything about, and I pushed it all onto him. I made him uncomfortable. I made him leave. It was the next day after then. I had fallen asleep with my phone out and open again. A picture of Alistair was still up. I had gone through my gallery on my phone again. It was a special night, though. I was happy looking through everything. The memories of each picture, a smile on my face. Looking at Alistair always brought a smile to my face. Besides that, he made me happy. It was almost natural in a way as well. I was used to it. I was still asleep, but as I slept, I could have sworn I felt a presence by my bed. I was starting to awaken from my deep sleep when I realized it. I wasn't sure if it was all part of me dreaming, or if there truly was someone by my bed. I could feel my hair stand on end a moment. Alistair? I opened my eyes fully, but when I did, the presence left, and I looked over my shoulder to see, but no one was there. I was saddened by this. Was it Alistair that was by my bed? If so, why was he? I looked over to the other side of my bed, and there was something there that surprised me. It was a flower. A red rose. I remember it not being there last night. I sat up in bed and looked at the flower a moment and then picked it up. Why was this here? I got out of bed and took the flower with me. I walked out into the living room and saw that Lizzie was watching TV. Lizzie, did you give me this? I asked as I held up the flower. Lizzie looked up at me. No, I wouldn't have gotten you one of those. I looked at the flower in my hand. Then who did? Have a secret admirer? Lizzie asked jokingly. I quickly shook my head. I woke up and it was on my other bed pillow. On your bed? That's strange, Lizzie said as she got up and looked at the flower closely. She took it from my hand and sniffed it. Smells pretty, at least. I took a pause. I think it's from Alistair. My tail wagged. Lizzie looked at me and gave me a sad look and put her ears backwards. Heart, don't. I took the flower back. I have a feeling it was him, though. I felt someone by my bed this morning. It was a strong presence. It made my hair stand up. There was only one demon that made me feel like that. I walked past her into the kitchen. I grabbed the glass and put water in it, then placed the rose inside it. Lizzie stood in the doorway by the kitchen. Believe what you want, I guess. If you think it was from Alistair, then maybe it was. Lizzie said, but I knew she was just saying it to agree with me. It was our anniversary yesterday, so maybe he remembered and wanted to give me something. I lifted the glass and looked at the flower as my ears went to the side. Plus, to show me that he's still around, to show me he still cares. I walked past Lizzie and into my room. I placed the flower on the bedside table and just smiled at it. Thank you, Al. I'm glad you remembered, I said in a whisper so Lizzie didn't hear me. I also had on the table the pictures that Alistair had in his bedside table that I accidentally crushed. I then noticed that they had shifted around slightly. All 3 pictures were showing. My ears went up with surprise. Maybe he was here after all. Lizzie never touched my stuff. I picked up the picture of me and him at the park and set it up against the glass of the flower. Seeing that flower, it made my day. It made me motivated. I felt great. My tail wouldn't stop wagging. I should go back out and search for a job again. I then remembered. The one place I remembered that had a help wanted sign in the window. Maybe it still did. If there was somewhere I was okay working, it would be Giuseppe's. I didn't know what they were hiring for, but I didn't care. Hopefully they were still looking. I pulled out my phone, and I had their number already as a contact just in case. I called, and the phone started ringing. After 4 rings, someone picked up. Hello. Thank you for calling Giuseppe's. This is Mark. How may I be of service to you? Hello. I was wondering if your restaurant still had the help wanted sign in the window? I asked. Yes, ma'am, we do. Were you interested in the position? Mark wondered. I am. I don't even care what it is, but I'm interested in working at the restaurant, I answered with as much enthusiasm as I could muster. Thank you so much for your interest. We still require you to come in for an interview. When are you available? I could tell that he was a little surprised by my response. I'm available today, if that's possible, I told him. That will work fine. When can you be here? How about in the next hour? Perfect. May I get your name, ma'am? Hart. Well, thank you so much, Hart. The manager's name's Glenn. When you arrive, ask for him. I'll let him know that you'll be arriving. Okay. Thank you so much, Mark. Well, I'll be expecting you soon, then. Goodbye. Goodbye. I hung up. I got more excited. I quickly got dressed. I made sure to wear something nice and made sure I had everything with me in my purse. I walked out of my room and Lizzie was in the kitchen. Lizzie, I'll be back in a little while. I have an interview, I told her with excitement. That's good, sis. Good luck. Call me if you need anything, Lizzie said, her head in the fridge. I walked out of the door and headed on my way. I was so excited. This interview was going to help me out. Pick me up on my feet. To be honest, that flower just motivated me to get out. I really hope I get this job. Part of me was even okay being a waitress. I love this place, though I think working there would just be great. I soon made my way to the Giuseppe's. I walked in and walked up to the host table. Standing there was a calico-colored cat demon. Hello, I greeted the host as I walked to him. I'm here to see Glenn, please. Ah, you must be the interview for today. The host gestured to one of the couches. Please wait here and I'll get him for you. Thank you, I said and headed to the couch and sat down as the host walked away a moment. It was only 5 minutes till the cat host returned, and behind him was a very tall humanoid-looking demon. But he had cat-like ears with a tiger-striped tail. He walked up to me and gave me a small bow. "You must be hot, yes?" he asked. "Yes, I assume you're Glenn?" I made sure. He stood up and held his hand out to me. "I am. Please follow me and I'll get this underway." I took his hand and he helped me up. Holding my hand still, we walked into the dining room and sat in a corner table, away from most of the guests that were currently there. The music played softly in the background. Glenn pulled out my chair for me and then pushed me in. "Thank you," I said as I put my purse on the table. Glenn sat down across to me. "So, Hart, what made you interested in working here?" he asked. I fixed my skirt for a moment. "Well, I actually come to this restaurant every year on a special day. It's my favorite place. One day I was walking by to clear my head and I saw your help wanted sign. I wasn't looking at the time, but this morning I remembered seeing the sign, so I needed to try and get a fresh start. Do something with myself instead of locking myself away in my room all day," I explained. Glenn nodded. "You have any idea what the job position is?" I shook my head. "I do not, but I'm willing to work and do anything," I said with a smile. Glenn put a clawed hand to his chin. "Can you sing?" he asked. I paused for a moment. My ears stood up more in surprise from the question. "Well, yeah, I do sing, but never in front of people, except for karaoke at the bar. I'm told I sing well." Glenn didn't say anything. He just looked at me. He then pointed to the stage. "Show me what you got. Go up on stage and sing something." I then got a little nervous, my ears going back slightly. "Sing? Now?" Glenn nodded in response. I took a breath. "Well, okay. Anything in particular?" I wanted to make sure. "Anything before the 1960s, and you're good. You can sing anything," he answered. I stood my ears up straight. "Okay, let's get going then," I said as I got up from the table. I was so nervous. I'd never sung in front of people. And karaoke, sure, but that was at a bar. This is a fancy restaurant. That's a way different atmosphere. I made my way to the stage. I wanted to show confidence in myself as I walked. I made sure my ears stood straight and my tail stayed behind me and down so it didn't show any emotion. I got to the side of the stage and walked up the small steps up to the band. They finished their song and they looked at me. I waved at them shyly. "Hi, I'm doing a job interview and Glenn sent me up here to sing." "All right, what you got in mind, sweetheart?" a raven demon playing the trumpet asked. I told them the song I wanted to sing. "Ah, nice choice. Let's get ready, boys," the raven demon said. The band got into position, and I slowly made my way to the mic in front of the stage. The song I knew because I always heard Alistair reference it, and I thought it was a pretty fun one. He quoted it all the time. We sat down and watched the movie it was from as well. It was one of Alistair's favorite. I'll sing this song for him. Maybe if he's watching me somewhere, he'll be smiling at me for remembering a song he enjoyed. Maybe I'll watch that movie tonight. For him. The band agreed to sing along with me for some parts, so at least I had that all settled. The music started and the people on the dance floor looked at me. I got nervous a moment, but I kept my mind focused and on the song.
Everything that happens in life can happen in a show. You can make them laugh, you can make them cry. Anything can go. The clown with his pants falling down, or the dance that's a dream of romance.
Everyone was definitely enjoying themselves. It made me happy that I was doing such a good job. All were on the dance floor.
On the lady in tights, or the bride with the guy on the side, or the ball where she gives him her all. That's entertainment. The plot can be hot, simply teeming with sex. A gay divorcee who is after her ex. It could be Oedipus Rex, where a chap kills his father and causes a lot of bother. The clerk who is thrown out of work by the boss, who is thrown for a loss by the skirt, who is doing him dirt. The world is the stage is the world of entertainment.
I let the band play with the break in the lyrics, I decided to do a little dance as well. I had to make it exciting somehow. The dance continued. Everyone was wooing and having a good time. We all sang that part. I continued to dance. Every one of the band members decided to come out and dance with me out front. I was having so much fun.
While the jury is out, or the thrill, when they're reading the will or the chase, for the man with the face, that's entertainment. The dame, who is known as the flame of the king of an underworld ring, he's an ape who won't let her escape. That's entertainment. It might be a fight like you see on the screen, a swain getting slain for the love of the queen. Some great Shakespearean scene where a ghost and a prince meet and everyone ends in mincemeat. The gang may be waving the flag that began with a mystical and hip hooray. The American way, the world is the stage is a world of entertainment.
I had finished the song, and people down on the dance floor actually started to clap for me. It was definitely something new. I liked it. I looked in the corner of my eye and saw Glenn walking up the steps to the stage. He walked up to me. "That was very amazing. You sang beautifully." He held his hand out. "Congratulations, young lady. You got the job," Glenn said with a smile. I didn't know what to say. I smiled so big. This was it. I took his hand and shook it excitingly. "Thank you. I promise not to let you down, sir." "Good." Glenn took his hand back. "Come back tomorrow in the morning when we're open, and we can get you all ready and have a schedule out for you. I'll be waiting at the house stand for you when you arrive." "Of course. I'll see you tomorrow then." I waved to the people in the crowd and then waved bye to the band. I headed down the steps. I grabbed my purse that I had left on the table and headed outside. I let out a small cheer and a small dance as I got out the door. I had to tell Lizzie. Now, this is something I never do, but I decided to fly back home. I was always nervous flying, but I was so excited that it didn't bother me today. I took off into the air and quickly flew home. I landed in front of the house and then quickly walked inside. "Lizzie!" I called. I got no answer. Was she already gone? "Lizzie!" I called again. I heard a shuffle in the hallway. Lizzie soon appeared out of the hall. It looked like she was sleeping. Her hair was all a mess, and she let out a yawn. "Heart," Lizzie yawned again. "How did the interview go?" she asked in a tired voice. I walked up to her and gave her a hug. "I got the job! I'm so excited!" "I'm glad to see you're happy, sis." She got out of my hug. "So, what was the job at Giuseppe's for?" "To be a singer in the band," I answered her excitingly. "That's great. I know that you love the singing stuff." "You have a nice voice," Lizzie told me. I blushed slightly at the comment. "Thanks. Now you have to come and see me." Lizzie sighed and rolled her eyes. "Only if I'm up to it." "I have to tell Charlie. I'm sure she'll be excited," I said as I ran to the door. Lizzie ran and stood in front of me. "You're not going to the hotel, Hart." "But I want to tell her in person," I said sadly, and my ears fell. "You're not going to the hotel, Hart," Lizzie said again sternly. I looked down at the floor. "Fine, I'll call her then." I headed to my room and closed the door behind me. A little upset, but I understood that Lizzie was just trying to look out for me. She did technically forbid me from going to the hotel at all. I looked at my rose on the bedside table, and it brought a smile to my face again. I sat on the bed and pulled out my phone from my purse. I called Charlie. It rang twice before I heard her pick up. Hello? Hi, Charlie. I greeted her. Oh, Hart, how are you? Charlie asked happily. I'm fantastic, I answered. Really? That's great to hear. What got you all excited? She wondered. I finally got a job, I exclaimed. Oh, congrats, that's great. Where at? Giuseppe's. That's the restaurant you go during your anniversary of your death, isn't it? It is. They had a help wanted sign and I went in for an interview this morning and I got the job. What are you going to be doing? Singing. That's amazing. Congrats. Thank you. I'd like to invite you guys to come when I do my first shift, if you're not too busy. Of course we can come. I'd love to see you sing. I'm sure Vaggie won't mind either. Angel says he misses you, so he'll probably come too. Husk, I'm not too sure about. And Nifty might come. Might have to convince them. That would be amazing, Charlie. I'd really love that. Of course. Just let us know when you start and we'll be down. Thanks. I wanted to tell you this in person, but Lizzie wouldn't let me leave to come to the hotel. Oh, Hart, that's okay. I understand your sister's just looking out for you. If you're in a good mood, I'd hate for you to feel bad once you got here. I guess you're right, I sighed. Charlie, would you like to get lunch with me today? I can't, Hart, I'm sorry. How about this weekend? That sound good? I was a little saddened by her answer, but I know she was a busy person. That's fine. Well, I'll keep you updated on everything. I'm glad to talk to you, Charlie. It was nice to talk to you, too. I could hear the happiness in her voice, so I knew she meant it. I smiled. Bye. Till next time. Bye, Hart. Good luck. We both hung up. The next morning, I still felt great. I was ready to go. I had to get to Giuseppe's before 9 a.m. I had an alarm set just in case. I jumped out of bed, full of energy. This is the best I felt in weeks. I felt like my normal self. Maybe I would be okay with Alistair gone. I miss him so much. But I feel I'll be okay. I just had to stay bright, though. He'll be back before I realize. I made sure to still look nice. I wore my dark red dress. It was the dress I wore to my first date with Alistair. It would be perfect for tonight. I had to go shopping for better outfits because I didn't have many that would be appropriate for Giuseppe's. I had a list of songs all ready to go. I just hoped the band knew them well. I put everything in my purse and made a look at the rose that was given to me yesterday. I gave a gentle smile. Wish me luck, Al, I whispered. I walked out into the hall and I knew Lizzie was still asleep. I told her last night I'd be leaving early in the morning. If she needed me, she could text me. I walked down the streets of the city and made my way to the restaurant. Before I knew it, I was standing in the front of the doors. I noticed the help wanted sign was now gone. That made me smile. I took a breath and opened the door. Just as he said, Glenn was standing at the host stand. He saw me and waved to me. I waved back at him as I walked up to the host stand. Good morning, I greeted him. Good morning, young lady, the demon greeted me back. I'm glad to see you on the first day. Are you ready? Ready as I'll ever be, sir, I said, standing up straight. That's the spirit. He offered me his hand. Now, before we begin, I'd like to discuss some things with you. I took his hand generously. Of course. We walked to one of the tables in the corner and he made me sign some papers and stuff. He then went over the schedule to me. So, you'll work all day. I hope that's all right. I nodded. But you have your long breaks in between. Mainly you come up to sing during the busy times, lunch and dinner. You'll be out there for as long as you want, 1 or 2 hours at the least. But you're more than welcome to stand up there for longer. You'll work every other day. We have another singer as well that does the other days of the week, Glenn explained. Sounds good to me, I agreed. Wonderful. Now, lunch won't be served till 11 a.m. So why don't you go talk with the band and talk about the songs you have planned for the day? Glenn suggested. I will. Thank you, Glenn. I'll do my best, I said as I stood up from the table. You mind if I make a phone call first? Go right ahead. But not too long, okay? Glenn said sternly. Yes, sir. I walked away and went to that corner of the restaurant. I pulled out my phone and called Charlie. When she answered, I told her about my schedule and how I would be singing today. I asked her if she would bring everyone down for dinner and watch me. She agreed and said that she would try her best to bring everyone. I thanked her and told her I would see her later. I ended the call with her and called Lizzie. I asked her if she would come tonight, and she said she would try. I know she would try to at least come to support me. I thanked her and hung up the phone and walked up to the stage to talk to the band. I needed to plan the songs for today. My lunch show went a bit better than I thought it would. People really liked the songs I picked, and I was happy people were enjoying themselves. When I went to walk off the stage, I was met by a humanoid-looking demon, but he had a snake tail and fangs poked out of his mouth. He was dressed in a button-up black shirt and some nice pants with boots. He had his hair styled to one side. He had a scar over his left eye that went vertical and split at the end at the bottom of his eye. He was a handsome fellow, though, if I did say so myself. "Can I help you?" I asked him as I got to the bottom of the steps. The snake demon gave a bow. "Pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name's Russell, but please, call me Russ. I saw your performance and really enjoyed what I saw up there." "Well, thank you, Russ. I appreciate that," I said with a smile. "It's nice to meet you, too. My name's Hart." "You're quite welcome. Do you mind if I give you some critiques?" "Yes." "Oh, absolutely. I don't mind. I'm new to this. I'd appreciate getting all the help I can get," I answered. Russ pulled out a card from his pocket and handed it to me. "I think your dancing needs some more work. I'm a professional dancer, and some days I teach to people that need it. Yours needs some fine-tuning. I think the crowds will love it," he told me. "Oh, yeah. My dancing was never the best," I admitted. "I could definitely enjoy a few lessons." "Perfect! If you want to find me, everything's on the card. Call me to make an appointment, and we can go from there," Russell said. "I hope to see you soon." "Oh, well, how about I make an appointment now?" I smiled. "Say tomorrow at 2 p.m.? I suggested. Russ pulled out a small blue book, most likely his schedule. "I have 2 p.m. booked. Want to say 1? I nodded. "Sure, that would be fine." Russ wrote something down in the book, then closed it. "I penciled you in." He looked down at his watch. "Oh boy, I better get going. I'll see you around, all," he said as he bowed again and walked off. He was an interesting man, so I figured I can give him a shot with all this. I do agree that my dancing needs work, so I was excited to learn a bit. The rest of the day went uneventful, as I waited till dinner time to start up again. I kept an eye out for Charlie and the little gang, but I hadn't seen them yet. It was soon time for me to get back on stage. I had 15 minutes. Where were they? I stood close to the door and just kept looking out around the tables and on the dance floor just in case as well. I knew I shouldn't be upset if they don't come. They can be busy with the hotel after all. Soon, I saw Charlie walk in. My tail started to wag and I got excited. Vaggie walked in behind her. I saw her reach back and pull someone in. It was Angel Dust. All were dressed a little nice. Even Angel was dressed a little nicer than normal. I didn't see Husker Nifty, though. I was sad they couldn't get everyone to come. I started to walk over to Charlie. She spotted me and then opened her arms up for a hug. I got to her and hugged her tight. "Thanks so much for coming, you guys," I said as I pulled away from the hug. "We were happy to come," Charlie told me with a smile. "We wanted to support you and congratulate you in person for getting a job and finally getting back on your feet," Vaggie added. "I was dragged here," Angel said, annoyed. "But I miss you, kid, so I wanted to come see yous. Do your best out there," he said with a small smile. "Thanks, everyone." I almost felt like crying. I'm so happy to call you guys my friends. Everyone gave me a small smile. "Now, I'll let you guys go sit down and enjoy yourselves. I have to go up on stage soon." Everyone waved. "Good luck," they all said. I gave them one last smile and walked over to the stage so I could start the night. End of chapter 14. So, I have her singing a few songs, so I was going to put the rest of the night in the next chapter. Also, I want to also mention that Russ is another OC that I have. I plan to put him in the story a lot more, so keep an eye out for him as well. I hope you enjoy him. Until next time, guys.